Sean's reporting that the New York Knicks have relieved Tom Thibodeau of his head coaching duties. So, Perk, before you have to run and go do your other responsibilities, can we get you?
Damn.
That was Tom Thibodeau. As much as we could be critical of Tom Thibodeau, and rightfully so, he played some part, like, when it comes down to maxing out guys, I get all that. He didn't deserve to lose his job. Not anybody with a set of eyes that was actually watching the game. Like, Tom Thibodeau couldn't force Jalen Brunson to be a better defender, right? When he was getting scored on 68% of the time.
Damn, is that the number?
Yes, except for one game. Ooh. They shot 68% on him when he was the primary defender, except for Game 5. So outside of Game 5, you were getting picked on. Karl-Anthony Towns, you couldn't even get up and down the floor, bro. It was about 5 times in Game 6 that I saw Karl-Anthony Towns should have got back in transition, couldn't get up and down the floor. Who fault is that? Like, the Knicks keep talking about what they need to do. Obviously, they done made a change. Now, who are you bringing in next, right? That's the question. Who's next in line, right? Like, who's going to be the voice of that locker room? Are you going to be able to keep Rick Bronson on that bench, right? Is he the next head coach? It's a lot of questions, right? Can you get Jalen Brunson to stop pounding the ball, dribbling the oxygen out of the damn basketball when you're setting up your fucking offense with 15 or 16 seconds in the shot clock? Like, keep it real. Tom Thibodeau did not deserve to be fired. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A little bit.
What you mean? How?
A little bit he did.
How?
So deep dive.
This is about to be Channing's like victory circle.
No, this is not a victory. This is not a victory. There are little things. There are little things because I do think Tom Thibodeau is a great culture-setting coach. What I saw, and I went back, there's a thing on Twitter. There's this guy, it's like the bad coaching or like bad coaching, whatever his thing is. He has a whole list of things that Cat was trying to do, that Jalen Brunson was trying to do, that they obviously had not practiced or there is not enough discipline to do these things. I have played with guys. And Kevin, I love him to death. He don't move his feet that well. Kevin was not getting picked. He moved his feet as well as I moved my feet.
He moved his feet in the finals.
He blacked out. Ask him. He blacked out. He didn't know what he was doing.
So when you wanted, you move those feet.
Listen, but we worked on that. We had discipline on exactly what the fuck he was supposed to do. If you look at what Cat was doing on out of bounds plays on the screens, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
He didn't know what the fuck he was doing in Minnesota. He didn't know what he was doing in Minnesota in the same scenario last year against the Dallas Mavericks. We could pick on Rudy all we want, but Karl-Anthony Towns completely disappeared. They started the series off switching pick and rolls. Miles Turner then was blowing right by his ass. Tyrese Halliburton, scoop layup. So Tibbs is like, well, what the fuck should I do now? Hey, Carl, you know what? I'm a challenge my two wing players in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to fight over screens. And I'm going to put your big ass in drop coverage because I don't know what else I can do with you. We started off the series switching pick and rolls. That didn't help. You got in foul trouble, Cat. Charles Barkley asked him, why do you pick up dumbass fouls? His reply was, only God knows. What? What?
That's what dreams are made of. That's what movies are made of.
And that's Tibbs' fault? That's
I'll say Tibbs' fault. Watch the film before you leave. Watch the film. Tibbs, if you can't ask somebody to just work on something in the Eastern Conference Finals, you can't just go, hey, I'm going to play 5 guys. Hey, Eastern Conference Finals, let me go dig in the garage, dust off DeLon Wright, who had played 14 minutes all season. There are big things that he needs to work on as a coach. And guess what? Based on the salary cap, I know that there are 2 or 3 coaches that I think, if I'm an organization, that can get the most out of the total roster. Is Tom Thibodeau an NBA coach? For sure. But how many chances are you going to give the guy running your guys to the ground and not
Let me
making
give you-
correct adjustments.
Let me give you some stats really quick per Shams of the work that Tom Thibodeau did. And
That's
you
what I'm
tell
saying.
me
He changed
this
their
is on
franchise.
For
Tibbs,
sure.
okay?
He
Tibbs
changed-
led the Knicks to their first East Finals in 25 years, made the playoffs in 4 of 5 years, and led the Knicks to consecutive 50-plus win seasons for the first time since the 90s.
Okay,
Richard,
awesome.
How
I
is
want to
that?
hear you go for a minute, RJ, before I got to go. But I want to say this. I say it to myself, or I say it out loud to myself, that if Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks lost the series against the Pacers, that he was going to get fired because I was going to look back at game 2 when Karl Anthony Towns was benched in the fourth quarter because of the relationship that Karl Anthony Towns has with World Wide West and Leon Rose. That shit goes all the way back to Kentucky. You can fix your face all you want. It goes all the way back to Kentucky. We're talking about 10, 11 years ago. This is how long that relationship has been established. So when you think about they had a big quote unquote CAA coming to Jesus meeting after that game. Because Tom Thibodeau is represented by CAA, like all this, like they had to really get in the office and narrow some shit down behind Karl Anthony Towns being benched in the fourth quarter.
Can I ask you a question? Has his style of basketball has ever proven that they can win the big thing? And that's just it. You got to make a tough decision. It's tough. JB does all that for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Perk, stop arguing. You got 6 minutes to go and say. You good?
Yeah, go. Get out of here. So you start sweating.
That is epic. Speaking of, Channing, before you dive in, the Knicks are singularly focused on their pursuit of a championship and believe a new voice will serve as the focus for the organization's next step. After 5 seasons, they parted ways.
How many seasons? I feel like I wonder how many.
You want to know how many he was in Chicago?
Tibbs was in Chicago from 2010 to 2015. And he was in Minnesota 2016 to 2019.
So 5, 3, and 5.
The way you clip this is not how I truly feel about Tibbs. I'm just a bench guy.
Why are you talking to our editors right now?
No, I'm talking to the fans because they'll clip this shit. I don't think, like, at a certain point, a voice needs to be changed. It is never, if he would have come back again next year and go to the Eastern Conference Finals next year with 6 guys, right? You would say, well, he's done 6 years. He's gone to Eastern Conference Finals. That's not the point of playing basketball. The point of playing basketball is to prepare your team as best possible to win a championship. There were signs that the way he was operating his system, that they were going to come into problems. It's just a thing. It's just a style, not him as a person. I don't know Tibbs. Tibbs probably doesn't like me anyways. He doesn't know who I am, obviously. Channing
Oh,
who?
remember he said it in it. Yeah.
Yeah, Channing who? Channing nuts now.
Yeah, I brought that up.
Did you?
No,
But
I'm saying
it just doesn't work.
That's funny. Okay, Rich, what's your thoughts?
the next coach that they get will dictate their success for the next 10 years. Say what you want about Tibbs. Say what you want about Tibbs, but he set a standard. Now he didn't always open the door to let everyone meet the standard, because it wasn't like, oh, I have different standards for my guys and I will pull out that tool bag when I need them, as other coaches do. So he's like, these are the 7-8 guys that I believe can hold my standard, and these are the guys that I'm going to go with.
7 or 8.
You know what I mean? 6. So that being said, what he's accomplished, like the Knicks. I remember when the Knicks were good in the 90s. They literally, the first year the Knicks didn't make the postseason after like a 14, 15-year stretch with Patrick Ewing and Allen Houston. The first year they didn't make the postseason was my rookie year. So literally since I've started, they have been this sporadic, up and down, not consistent franchise for 25 years. And that's why Tibbs comes in 5 years ago and slowly builds up their culture to an elite NBA franchise standpoint. We've never heard less from James Dolan. James Dolan's been more quiet than we've ever heard him in the last 25 years.
For sure.
And it's like, because Tibbs sets a standard and it could be left. Now, within that standard, there still feels like there's more there, right? There's more creativity, there's more openness to change, and you have to be aware of your own scouting report. That's what they tell us all. You got to be aware of your own scouting report. As a coach, they would say Doc Rivers doesn't make changes. And then you look at the results of up 2-0 multiple years. He has, I think, 2 or 3 up 3-1s and loses. So then you look at it in the playoff series where that's the key component for a coach. That's his scouting report. And the scouting report is accurate without being disrespectful. It doesn't mean he's not a great coach. That's just an area in which he needs to improve. Tibbs, over the 13 years he's been coaching, typically wears his guys down. Not wears his guy down. They typically don't have enough juice late in the season, and he typically only plays 6 or 7. And that's ultimately never gotten him past the conference finals, only gotten him to the conference finals. But he's an elite coach because the numbers say that 250 wins, all of this. But it's like, can you be that coach that overachieves consistently versus meets a standard that kind of feels like there's more that you could have done?
As you were talking, I was not listening one bit. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but here's what I'll say about Tibbs. If I'm Memphis Grizzlies, I'm hiring tomorrow. Thank you. Sorry, Richard. Damn, now it's just me and Allie.
He's there.
No. Like, I would hire him. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I would hire him tomorrow. Right? And I would say, hey, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja, all our young guys.
Would you bring him to a franchise where some of our better players have injury history?
If I want to reestablish culture in winning.
I know. Okay. No. But I'm asking you right now. I'm asking you this question. Given Ja's history, given Jaren Jackson Jr.'s history, we're not questioning whether this man can take you to a conference finals where he can get you 50 wins, where he will change the consistency and work ethic of your team. He's exact. He's outstanding. Would you bring him into a team that has an injury history?
Don't contradict yourself, Channing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I want to say no, but I'm also like, how desperate. You have John Morant. Whether you have this coach or another coach, he's liable to get hurt. So I'm taking my chances on everyone else knowing this is how we play. Like, let's be real. Memphis Grizzlies have underachieved due to injuries and other things over the last few years.